It's all a mess. It don't-
When it's all
Hello, 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 everyone. Everyone, we are here. We're still in Ohio. We are still in Ohio for Love is Blind. To find out if it really is blind, we're at the altar. Okay. Some of us, we're creating history. They're having a family member, our sister, perform, to officiate the entire vows. But welcome, welcome. Make sure y'all hit that like button before we get into all the drama, all the mess, all the sauce. Okay. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. How's it going, Trey?
it's going well. Pleasure as always joining everybody to talk about this week's mess of weddings. And, let's get to it.
Easton, how are you this week?
Sunday, blessed and highly favored, blessed and highly favored. Again, getting into a little bit of mess, but trying to do so in a critiquing in a healthy manner. So we're just excited to talk about the ending because we have the reunion, and so now with the weddings, and we can finally get off this bandwagon and get on to another.
Oh, and on to another one because the very next day we have the reunion Wednesday night. I'm going to watch that live with folks.
And what's the new show?
Sweden is on Thursday, season 3. I'm excited. Love is Blind Sweden. Trey and I love the international versions. I don't know if you take flights on Love is Blind, airline.
A little bit, but the first season I watched was France. This last season, I said, "Oh," "Ooh."
That You're late to the party, but we welcome you in any case. Sweden is very enlightening. They have only had one divorce. Okay. One. Every year it's been every year has been at least 2 marriages and only one divorce right now. And they have babies, lots of babies. They are fully pregnant by reunion. Okay. Sweden does not play. But we are here for Ohio. Sweden starts Thursday, y'all. I'm excited, but we have other international versions coming up this year, but we are still in the US. We are here for Ohio. And Easton, who would you like to start with?
Do we? I actually want to start with Vic and Christine. Let's just get I want to start Vic and Christine because it wasn't that much excitement. It wasn't that much like mystery, but it wasn't.
Really?
It wasn't. I think that they were the health. Oh, I love your demeanor, El Cid. I think they were. We could bet our last $2 on them making it to the altar and saying yes. And so I think we should start with them because there's a little bit less conversation around the dynamic, and there's more conversation around like how we love the couple and how good their relationship was.
Well, here's the thing. Well,
we can end on it. We can end on it.
Let's start with this. First time in Love is Blind history since we've been watching, a family member, his sister, is the officiant. Y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always open to learning. But I said, where's the sister going? Now, wonderful conversation where he had with his mother. He said, Mom, how come you never gave up on me? He said, we don't give up on our kids. These folks, and you said no excitement. The excitement is I need everybody who is listening, who is watching this. The excitement is in that box. I need everybody to make a guess as to what's in that box. That's where the excitement is later because Vic said, yeah, but your family ain't in the room with us. We about to have a good time. So y'all can guess what's in that box. But I think there was a little bit of excitement in the fact that it's not messy, but it was exciting to certainly see them hear their vows and see their commitment to each other. And I will tell you what up. I'm not one. I don't know the electric slide. I'm not trying to learn it. I'm going to be at the bar or two-stepping on the edge of the dance floor. But I loved how everybody came together and her uncle her uncle too was like, I know I told you I like him, but he was standing right there. But I gotta tell you, I really do like him. And my job is to see you to your future. It was wonderful on both sides of the family. So since you picked them, Easton, talk about them.
I mean, you kind of like laid it out for us. I enjoyed the behind the scenes in terms of the family interactions on both sides because we didn't get a lot of that initially. Again, it was a disservice that whether it be Kinetic, Netflix, whatever it may be, they didn't show us the storyline behind Vic and Christine. We just got the end result. And it's kind of like we hop, skipped, and jumped from one area, from them being in the pods to them being in Malibu to them, you know, somewhat meeting their families or family member, and then them being at the wedding. And so I did appreciate that. I appreciated the camaraderie between the best men or the groomsmen and Vic, their conversations that they were having. I also enjoyed the fact that how, you know, I think Christine, looking at her friends and the diversity within her friends, I think that she was a good pick for Vic, just considering because she did have a you could tell that she was a little bit like she had some friends that were a little bit ethnic, if you will. And so I said, all right, I think I see a little bit more. I didn't know that Christine had the tattoo at the top of the back. I said, yeah, Christine. All right, yeah. I said, you right up the alley. I said, I can see her in a couple years with the bob and a son named Jaden. I already know that. I know what type of time she on. And so that being said, I'm excited. I enjoyed the wedding where they did lack in the budget for sending them to Mexico. They didn't skip a beat or a dollar bill on the wedding setup, the candles, the food, the ambiance, all that stuff. I enjoyed that. And I think the most important thing or one of the most important interactions was between Christine and her uncle, how Elsie was talking about, you know, his job was just to, you know, see her to the altar. I think he tried. I think he did what he could do because he wasn't necessarily the father who could grill him like Ashley, but I think he did his best to fill in a role that is really, really tough, being you know, kind of the father figure or male figure and somebody who might have lost their father or the father has been out of their life. So I did appreciate and like seeing that as well. And also the interaction between Vic and his mother, because it also gives you a little bit of light into what he did, what his life was, and how his mom and family surrounded him and kept him lifted in spirit. So, yeah.
It also told you that, you know, Vic kind of like learned real quick. That first semester away at college, he learned real quick what, you know, all his mother has tried to instill in him. And I guess he's still, you know, carrying on with that. Now, I do agree with you with Christine's uncle. And I wonder if that will be, again, you know, Vic also had his own healing and forgiving of his dad. And I'm wondering if the relationship with the uncle could kind of help her with her own journey to that kind of forgiveness. But Trey, what did you think about this couple? The you know, the couple we had to go back and scoop up because we thought nobody else was getting married in this bunch?
First thought just now was, damn, my second son name is Jaden, so I feel some type of way. What that mean? But my real first question was, hold on, Elsa, did you just say you did? Wait, am I correct? Did you say you didn't know how to do the electric slide, or you didn't like the electric slide? Which one is it?
Okay, my thing is I can't remember choreography for anything. My mind does not, I cannot remember choreography. So I don't know. You can teach me now, and 2 minutes later, I am wrecking it. So I can't retain choreography.
You know what? If this was advanced choreography, I give it to you. But the electric slide is so simple that there's no way you can forget. You go
Here's the
left
other
2
thing,
times,
Trey.
right 2
You
times,
know,
rock
you know I
back
don't
and
like
forth,
being
turn
told what to
around,
do.
go the opposite way. That's it.
No.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Hey, why are you looking at it like that? Because first off, if you're leading the electric slide, that means you're telling everybody else what to do. They're following you. Just saying.
I'm leading the slide to the bar. Bartender.
We can let you slide to the bar. It works just fine. To the left 2 times, to the right 2 times, pivot, go the other way. You can make your way right to the bar just like that. See? Nah, you just a party pooper. That's what it is. It's supposed to be a group, come together, have a good time. That's what Electric Slide is for. It is group togetherness, family, good times. Anyway, it was nice seeing this couple. This you're right. This is the throwaway couple, which I still stand on what I said weeks ago. I think they've realized. I think the production realized when these couples came their vacation, they realized, oh, I don't think we're gonna have any couples that's gonna make it. We need to call some people back up. And that's why it looked like Vic and Christina's journey was shortchanged, to say the word. Because it was. I think they came up halfway through and they had to go ahead and real dirty send them down there. Hey, film this on your own phone, blah, blah, blah. We'll pick you up a little bit in the middle. And that was it. Because doing this wedding was the most coverage they ever got. It was the most coverage they ever got. And it looked good. We met his mom, his sister. They played with us in their little preview of them. We thought it was going to be some type of argument. It wasn't. It was just all smiles or whatever. Oh, and the sister said something I thought was very important. She said, I know my brother. And before he make any type of decision, that means he has thought about it, prayed on it, went through it logically, and made a decision. So if he has chosen you, that means you're okay with me. That's what's up. That says a lot about his character more than anything. One of the best things she could say. Because one of the arguments we've always had, we don't really know these two people like that. We didn't have time to get to know them. There's not that much of them. So her saying that was big. I was like, okay. Y'all both said we met her uncle. He reiterated, like, yo, I really like this dude. I know I said like him, but I really like this dude. I like this. Everything seems great. I love his mom. I love listening to her accent. It was great. It just made me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Oh, this is nice. It's very nice. Come from good stock here. You know what I'm saying? Come from good stock. I thought it was so funny to me how his sister was trying. You notice her New York and Grenadian accent tried to disappear a little bit when she was reading her speech to get them married. I was like, look at her trying to be all professional. You can't hide it. You might as well let it come through. Can't hide it, but she was trying. It was cool. It was very nice, and that was very sweet for her to marry them and appreciate the ceremony.
That's my question.
That was a very sweet moment.
But that's my question: was she ordained before, or did she get ordained for the ceremony? I just would like to know, because I'm wondering, like, does she have her own church? Yet that's all. Like, I'm like, I'm more intrigued by his sister now. But
I guess could not be out of the way. She's here now. She's ordained. Got to be married to be ordained. She got it done for her brother. I think it's her baby brother, right?
Yes. She's the pit bull. She's the pit bull. He said. Remember, he said he wanted to get her because it was she the pit bull.
Okay, it's all good. This seems like, and what's in that box? Edible arrangements. I'm just leave it like that. That's what's in that box. It's all edible.
Yeah, it's something along those lines.
Yeah, all edible. Yeah, should be fun.
Jesus.
And Trey, I wasn't trying to make any slights to Jaden.
It was just funny.
It's a play to what they talk about. Most of the NBA league is biracial, and like over 60%, 80% of the teams have a person named Jaden on the team. So, interesting fact of the day.
Interesting.
Why you got to quantify it? You said what you said, Easton.
you know, it's just this could get clipped up and they'd be like, "What's going on, Easton? You got something against people named Jaden?" I'm like, "Nah." I've been to a couple of baby showers with the mom with the Bob, baby named Jaden, and it got the baby shower meatballs. I done did that before.
Hey, only those who have it will be offended by it.
This is true.
If it don't apply,
Yeah,
Let it fly.
there you go. So
it definitely has seemed to be a popular name. I've noticed over the years. Like, yo, there's a lot of Jaden's what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
it's
You
a
know,
season of
just-
Jaden's.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know if I should even tell that story. I didn't choose my second son's name, so it wasn't what my choice was. I just looked up and the choice was already made, so I felt stuck with about that. But it was like, okay, you know what?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Pick
Jaden,
your battles.
don't watch
Pick your
this
battles.
panel.
Yeah, just pick your battles. That's all it was. I was like, okay.
But yes, we do have a married couple. Okay, Vic and Christine. I have high hopes that this couple will sustain. Okay, this is why we like Love is Blind. But here's the thing, production. We wanted to see their journey to here. Okay, we love the good couples, but we wanted to see more of their journey. Y'all owe them. And from the rumors I heard, y'all are trying to pay up at reunion time. I don't know if, anyway, it's for them. It's for them, If they're happy, I got to be happy. Okay. So next up, Trey, would you like to do us the honors? Who's the next couple you'd like to roast, talk about?
Let's go ahead and finish off this couple because they started with them, then they ended with them. Emma and Mike. Let's just go ahead and get to this message.
Emma and Mike. Okay, so Emma, this is Emma's birthday. Okay, y'all, Emma's an Aries. All these weddings were April, first 2 weeks of April. Okay, Emma in her Aries bag decided to say, "I can't live without you." And Mike said, "Yeah, I can't live without having some babies, some kids. If you ain't about having my kids, I can't. It's a no for me, dog." So, talk to us, Trey, about Emma and Mike.
I had this thought while I was watching it, and then it somewhat got confirmed with social media later on as I was watching it. Did it feel like to y'all when Emma said it's a yes that wasn't the actual answer? It was supposed to be a no. I was like, because everybody, this seemed like a situation. Oh no, this was talked about. This was discussed. He told you your reasons why it was going to be a no. The reasons were, to me, was understandable. Y'all are not aligned on certain things. The relationship probably could have worked, but you're just not aligned on certain things. Hey. But I'm trying to figure out if that was the case, then why did you say yes? What are you trying to accomplish with this? Are you trying to put more embarrassment on him by him just saying no and you saying yes? Or are you trying to put pressure on him by, maybe if I say yes, it'll force him into saying yes to forego that embarrassment? Because I feel like this kind of happened again with another couple. Like, so things were discussed. Something happened. Okay, things were discussed with one couple, then things were discussed with other couples. That what's told. Something's going on here. But yeah, the vows were not vows, they were speeches. Everybody vows were speeches, except for Victor and Christina. They actually had vows. Everybody else, for the rest we're going to talk about, they did not have vows, they had speeches. And my speech was atrocious, but it was a speech. So if I take that thought process, I can't say that against it. It's a speech. Hey, listen, you don't want kids. What can I say? What can I say? I do. We are not aligned. I'm sorry. I like you, but nah. The thing that got me was the conversation afterwards, because it was two of them. She's still trying to finagle this into a relationship. And I'm trying to sit here like, why? And it seemed like her parents was trying to help. It was like, she could get there. She could get there. I'm like, get where? There's no way to get. You either on the fence. If you're on the fence, that means you're off the fence. You're on the other side of him. Period. Okay? This ain't nothing you can think about and show either way, yada, yada, yada. No. Either you want them or you don't. Even if you don't want them right now, you can say, I might want them, but I want them later on. Okay, cool. But no, you just on the fence. Not going to work. Okay? Mike sitting there talking to her. He's sitting there talking to her. He's listening like, girl, I'm looking for a family, not somebody that's just want to hold hands right now. Like, no, this is not going to work. Because I find it interesting when they double back to the little confessional, Mike seemed a whole lot more upset or bothered about the whole notion. Like, wait a minute. Like, who you playing this for? Almost like he felt like you playing in my face now.
That's why she was supposed to say no. I think that's why she was supposed to say no.
Yeah. This was not the plan we agreed upon. You know what I'm saying? So already you seem like you're playing in my face. And then number two, you try to make me look like, you try to make me look like the butthole, even though we both agreed that it's supposed to be no. And then you want to turn around and act like, oh, we can still keep this going. And what? Why? No. So, yeah, I expect a little bit of fireworks at the reunion between them. Just a little bit.
But it's like, why are you begging this man on your birthday when you know you don't want to have kids? And you had the nerve at the end to say, I guess love is blind, but you can't be blind about having kids. When could you ever be blind about having kids? Emma. That's why it's like the Delulu of Emma. And I wondered if Emma was trying to get, again, a good edit, making Mike look bad that he said no to her on her birthday at the wedding. Emma been playing Mike this whole time. I'm sorry, that's how I felt. She been playing along. Even her family is saying, this is a different, we never heard Emma say this, and she been hiding that personality from her parents. Emma been playing, okay? The Delulu is real and she playing, okay? And she hoping that Mike's Delulu is real too. But Mike is standing firm. I want them kids. You not going to do it? I'm going to find someone who will. Easton, what did you think about Emma and Mike's wedding?
We've been known that Emma is an operative. We've been known that. But again, we would not have gotten to this situation where I put a significant amount of the share of responsibility on Mike. Although Emma was wishy-washy and saying maybe I could see it in the future, possibly. We got to stop if people aren't aligning with what you see in terms of a husband, a wife, a mother, and a father. You got to eliminate these people quick. You got to learn how to pick winners a lot sooner. And Mike had all the information he needed, especially because his boundary. And we oftentimes don't really get to see it, where a lot of the guys, they don't really have very hard-coded, staunch boundaries. And especially in Love is Blind, they're kind of they just kind of parrot and mirror whatever the girl says, and then you find out that they've been lying this whole time. But Mike has been one of the only people in Love is Blind history that has been adamant about, I want kids. I want, he's been screaming it from the mountaintops. And for him to not hold up to his boundary makes him super responsible in my eyes. So we shouldn't even got to the altar if Mike was really about business, because he's dealing with somebody who's wishy-washy and he can sense it's volatile. Now, Emma, like I said, we know you've been an operative. You've been wishy-washy. You lied to that man saying he was the first option. You got your family in there trying to cape for you. You got your sister there saying that she don't want no kids and she unhappy and she miserable. And if she could, she would redo the whole thing and they wouldn't even be here. But with all of that, we just need to pray for Emma, let her go see that lady, and then let's call it good. And Mike, find you somebody in the Mama Mia community who's ready to have kids. Stop dealing with people who you have to like pull it out of and try and finagle with. And that's my issue with Mike, is that he's one of the few guys that seems like he's very hard coded on I want kids, and he's dealing with the most volatile and wishy-washy person on that. And if he would have just like stood 10 toes down on his boundaries, he wouldn't even be in this position. And I didn't like how he dealt with his family, because they was really just trying to help him. And for you to say no and for you to act like this when your mama and daddy were just trying to help you, I'm sick of it. Like, I get it, Mike. You might have been under your parents some of this whole time, but they really wanted the best for you, and you gonna act like that? I'm done with. I don't like Mike. Oh, she need to go back. I don't know. Is she on her maintenance? You know, because sometimes people go to talk to that lady and they be there every week, and you know, eventually you get good enough that they say, all right, we're gonna go bi-weekly, and we're gonna once a month, then we're gonna once every 2 months, and then we're gonna come as you need. We need that kind of therapy with Emma.
All I gotta say is the therapy ain't help her with lying in the pods. Therapy ain't help her with lying to that man in the pods, okay? And I'm glad, Mike, we don't have a repeat of this whole, do you think you could get genetic testing? Do you think you could rethink your views on kids? Do you think? We did not get a whole bunch of footage of Mike, in a sense, pressuring her to change her stance on kids. As you said, Easton, he said, this is my stance. I want my kids. You don't want kids. That's fine. We can part ways. And again, I appreciate y'all telling us your decision at the altar, since this is what you're contractually obligated to do. Okay? I have an issue when we do the couch side breakups. This is Love is Blind. Decisions are made in your dress, in your suit at the altar. Okay? So, Emma and Mike, I wish y'all well, you know, but whatever. Easton, where shall we go next?
I wanted to say, let's go with Jordan and Amber.
Okay, Jordan and Amber. Amber's brother said, girl, I didn't expect you to get married until you at least 40 or 50. I screamed at the TV laughing because her brother knows her best. Brother knows her best, okay? Lovely that he met her daughter Emma. Lovely they have, you know, something, you know, that they had a good, you know, I guess playtime. She tried to smother him with the pillow though, but you know,
right.
Don't leave that there.
Ain't go chuckle about it.
Because this is the thing with kids, Easton. You know how they say, you know, if the little boy pulls your ponytail on, you know, on the playground, he really likes you, you know, looking for attention. So they're trying to say the fact that she even approaching you to do anything, that it's a good sign. But my thing is she's approaching him to smother him. No, well, I don't know if she knows he wears a CPAP. The child could have been diabolical, trying to get rid of him, and they're putting it like, okay, she likes you. I guess she likes you, because his nephews also climb all over him, and you know he's the favorite uncle. Okay, that's what it is. But
all right,
Amber at least was honest. Amber at least was honest, where she's like, I understand, and her brother was very good in letting her know if he is a no, it's okay. You have a lot going on. Easton, talk to us about this couple.
I think it was very telling about the brother's honesty. Some people might have not liked or appreciated the fact that he was on her day giving her this raw level of honesty. But I think because we didn't see, I don't know if Amber had a father or a father figure, and sometimes, you know, having a little bit more like somebody who's unbiased, because your brother who's gonna give you the real is very necessary. Amber and Jordan are playing in our face. Amber and Jordan are playing in our face. This is very unserious, and you could tell by Jordan's response. My heart, when he was like, my heart's wants me to say yes, or something along those lines. I'm like, you need an emphatic yes, and the fact that you are like, that means that you're considering no, and y'all are playing in my face. Amber just wanted to be there so she could show her daughter a wedding and have a good time. Why you got the baby there in the first place? Y'all, you don't even need to be on this show because the show isn't meant for, like, isn't built for people. I don't think it's I think it's irresponsible for people who have kids to be on Love is Blind, because you're trying to get a kid to get on board with this in 11 days. Then you don't know, you've never seen this person in all different seasons of life, especially, and then compounding that on with dealing with a child. I'm against it. Anybody I see on there, I'm like, you are delusional and you just want a moment. And Amber just wanted that moment. I do appreciate whoever her makeup artist was. She did look presentable this time. I didn't really like the hair, but hey, that's all season. But the makeup artist did do a pretty good job this time. Jordan's suit was much improved, one version compared to when he was trying on suits. I did appreciate that. But overall, this relationship is a wash. I still don't like how Amber shut down with Jordan and my boy Stress Eating. We haven't even gotten past that. And if you're over here shutting down, right, like a couple days or a week before the wedding, that means that the entire time you've been either shutting down or you've been kind of like wishy-washy with how you've operated with me. And I don't need that. And I shouldn't want that going into a marriage. But yeah, Jordan, I wish he had a little bit more confidence or a little bit more like backbone, because he don't want to move to that city, and I wouldn't either. Everybody's trying to make it about him not wanting to be near a bar, but I think that there's a huge difference in living arrangements, and I think Amber is trying to strong arm it because she don't really want to give up the house. I think that she is very pink pill feminist light, and she worked her butt off for that house. She put so much money into the renovations of that house, and she don't want to give it up or have to move it or sell it or rent it out. That is her home base, and the kid Emma is just a bartering chip in this situation, because I ain't saying the school districts are bad where she is or not, but I'm sure that we could find a comparable school district in the city, if you will. That's all I'll say. That's where I'll land.
Well, it is something to uproot your child. There is something, and you have to make that decision. I think where we did hear both of them say they were willing to compromise, that they can live where her brother lives in that town. It would be a 30-minute commute because, even though Jordan is like, I can't live there, that is valid. Then you can say, no, you can't live and move there. But she did say, yeah, we're considering my brother's side of town. And she did say she's open to renting the house out and so forth. That is for them to decide, okay? And we all can base all of our opinions on what, of course, we would do, okay? I totally get that and understand. And if I was Amber, I would just sit back and see, well, what is the compromise? But you have to help Jordan. And the reason why I only say help Jordan is Jordan has never been in a position of being a father figure or even dated a woman with a child. So I don't know, his thought process, decision making for that, but I am enthused that he was at least considering, being close to her family and her brother being her support system and moving closer there. Still leaving her daughter in the same school district, same school, same everything, but that's something they can decide, because we saw it in France. That was a bone of contention.
Well, real quick, I think that it's somewhat irresponsible in the fact that you're on a show and that we know that it might be surrounding areas, it might be a specific city, it might be yada, yada, yada. But I think that it's irresponsible for people. And I think didn't stumble across this idea or this concept on my own. I was watching Married for 10 Years, and she does really great breakdowns. And so she was saying, like, if you're wanting to move or if you're wanting to leave and you're not wanting to be stationary in the place, especially when they're casting, it's kind of irresponsible, because you have people who are under the guise that, hey, I'm in the same local spot and I'm content and happy in that position. With Love is Blind with Columbus, you had tons of people who were based in the area, and there are some people on the outside. I think that it's a little bit irresponsible considering that Amber can't move. She can't move, and she can't be as flexible with moving her daughter and her current living situation. It's different if you don't have a child and you have the ability to move freely from one bordering city to another. But I think it's a tad bit irresponsible in the sense that, like, hey, you know that you locked down here. Even if she is trying to compromise, it's like, do you really want to drag somebody's feet when they're moving a different school district because of a child? You kind of come across as a little bit like, I won't say disrespectful, but you definitely come across a little bit more selfish, in my opinion.
But it's a choice. You have to choose if you're going to change, where the child goes to school. I know everybody kind of sees it as uprooting, and using that word, for me, it gives a certain, thought process. You're uprooting this child. But again, who's to say that the change for the child isn't going to be a positive change? I don't like, when sometimes we're thinking the change for the child may be negative, at all. And then I may be naive because I have certainly, even though I changed schools, my children stayed in the same school system, the same, trajectory all of their life. But it's a choice you make as a parent. I mean, and some people do it because of their job. Some people do it for other reasons. But I don't. I have seen
No,
some
I
places
agree.
married at first sight have some successful relationships with children involved. So I don't want to limit the folks with kids, but I understand what you're saying. Because
No,
what would be the safe age group? Preteens or people with babies? Because the babies
There
ain't
will
in the school system yet.
there will never be a safe age group unless they're adults themselves. This In this particular situation, I think what we're really getting at is you if you're gonna sign up for a show like this, whether man or female, male or female, you're gonna have to show a willingness to adapt and make changes to your life. If you come on this show and you're being very constrained, whether man or woman, you're being very constrained about where you want to live or where you're not going to live, this, that, third, that shows a somewhat unseriousness to both parties if they're doing that. It's a bit of unseriousness because if you're coming on the show, there's a chance you can meet somebody that's living outside this place, that place, this and that third. This is a conversation that's going to come up. Y'all have to figure out together where you would like to live or live your lives. His town, your town, in the middle between wherever. But when you're inflexible, even if you have kids, you have to take that into consideration. I may have to be flexible. You may have to consider moving. If you're being inflexible in that notion, it's a problem. And you probably should not have come on here in the first place. Now, I was going to start with, um, I had a lady friend tell me this, right, as she was watching this show. And with this particular couple, she said, and I quote, I knew Amber was unserious because of how long it took Jordan to meet her child. The more you put off, in her words, the more you put off, the more you put off someone to meet your child in this particular situation, you literally wait till the last minute you're getting married. You literally wait till the last minute to do this. That's how, to her, she knew that this wasn't taken seriously. It's probably going to be a no. I was like, okay, I kind of understood the point. I kind of understood the point because remember, I had an issue with why we wait so late to do this. So I know in most cases you want to, in most cases you want to give an appropriate amount of. Oh, am I frozen?
Yeah, you're going in and out, Trey.
Am I frozen?
No, your picture is up. You could talk.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, it's one of those situations where I understand you don't want to, it's a month in, you don't want to meet your child, somebody's kid right off the bat. I get that, but we can't be waiting also the day before the wedding to meet somebody's kid that you're going to be a part of their lives too as well. In this particular situation, it's a bit different because this is a pressure cooker of a relationship. So I'm giving it a lot of leeway, but it always bothered me that okay, why are we waiting so late to meet the child? Because what if all of a sudden you meet the child and she wasn't feeling Jordan at all? Which I almost kind of felt like that. You almost trying to suffocate the guy. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Because also, this is another couple where I think they both had a discussion and it was going to be a no. It was going to be a no. Because it was kind of weird to me. Okay, I'm gonna see if y'all caught this. When they both were standing up to say their vows, the officiant asked Amber, do you want to take this man in your life with your husband? Okay. It cut back to the daughter real quick, and she mouthed the word no. Like she already knew what the answer was going to be. So when her mother said yes, it cut back to her again, and she looked shocked. That nigga said. She looked shocked. Like, I went, okay. Is this another situation where it was supposed to be a no, and all of a sudden you saying yes to see what other person's going to say? What's going on here? Then
What did you tell your daughter?
I feel like she told her, yeah, I like this guy, but he's probably gonna be a no, so it's gonna be a no. We're not gonna be married, he's a nice guy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, something's up about this. So why are you saying yes to this? And they only furthered it when they went to Jordan and Amber the whole time before you even finished. It's okay that you say no. It's okay, I understand. It's okay you say no. Almost like I know we agreed on saying no together, but I said yes, but it's still okay for you to say no. What? Now it looked like Jordan was on the spot. It looked like Jordan was on the spot now. Now, I'm going to what I think the mindset of Jordan is. I do think he likes Amber. I do think he likes her genuinely. But he is concerned about having a life with her. He has concerns about it. Not just about her kid, about her too, how they interact and whatnot. He sees some of the pitfalls that could happen. He sees them. We see them. He's not blind. We've actually been through a few towards the end after that mix or whatever. That's going to happen again. If that's her response to certain things, that's going to happen again, bro. She's a runner. She's a track star. She will walk out on you and leave you standing with the bag at the drop of a dime. Now if you did something wrong, I understand that. But if this is something off a little bit of argument, off of something that was said that was understandable, that's a problem. And I think he sees that, but he likes her. So it's really the question is he willing to stand up and take on these responsibilities, especially being a stepdad? That's a lot.
Especially if you've never dated someone with a child before.
Yeah, never dated a woman with a child. Haven't even met this kid till a day before the wedding. Now, come on. I thought they were doing. I'm sorry. I thought they were doing well when she met the father, and that went well. I was like, okay, this seemed to be on the right track. This is cool. I like this. But then they still waited to meet the child. I was like, okay, what's going on here?
That's it, Trey. That's it right there. When the dad gave the okay and she still waited to introduce the daughter, yes.
She don't like them. I think it stems to two parts. When they did really Jordan, whenever he said his boundary or what he wasn't really preferring was somebody with kids, and then also at the reveal, I'm telling you, the reveal, at this point we know love isn't blind completely, it's blurry. And so when Jordan and Amber met, we gotta call a spade a spade. When she was doing her little pose, when she was doing her Charlie's Angels, she wasn't really fooling with Jordan. She like everything she was talking about him being the size and everything like that. Jordan kind of was like, it was like she would say this thing that was a little bit borderline, questionable, and then editing would like edit Jordan, and he would be eating something, and he would be looking a little bit, out of pocket. Yeah, Amber just wasn't attracted to him, and I think she was trying to figure out in her mind how far she's going to go for a somewhat solid dude, because outside of that, Jordan seems like he really was trying to he was one of the few guys this season who seemed like he, at least from an emotional standpoint, was at least a little bit emotionally regulated. He seemed like he wanted to communicate when there were disturbances, and that when things weren't always gelling together correctly. And so I thought that he at least responded to things rather well, but I don't think she's attracted to him enough to even give him the chance to like go that deep into it.
Remember what I said at the beginning of the season. Jordan is actually a decent guy, but he's been put in a situation that I don't know that he's actually ready for. He just may not, and really is not being ready for it, is he has had no experience in to even prepare for. And remember what I said. This is Amber's, to her own words, own admittance, this is Amber's first nice guy. And what did I say at the beginning of the season? You don't want to be a woman's first nice guy, because she's going to have you sliding down walls over some bull crap, make you pay for the other stuff that other men did to her. I'm telling you, it happens every time without fail. It happens every time. So yeah, they said yes, which is a shock to everyone. You notice everybody looked like, what? Wait, everybody knew the assignment. Oh, this is gonna be a no. It's gonna be sweet. We're gonna have a good time after. No, it's a yes, huh? Okay, that's okay. This is not going as planned, but okay, we'll see. And I'm telling you, it ain't gonna last long. Okay, because unfortunately, I hate to say that. Now, this may be a hit towards Jordan. I hate to say this, but it's going to be a lot of pressure on him now. And I don't think he's up for the pressure. At least not yet in his life. He's not up for that pressure. On top of it,
Amber need to go see the lady.
I hate talk. Okay, listen. I hate. Let's get a little messy. Let's get a little messy. Okay. The reason why it's difficult for most men to date women with children is because at most times you don't know where you will truly fit in the hierarchy of the children's lives. They are not your children. So you really don't have too much of a say-so. Also, you have to deal with the mother of the children. How much of a say-so is she going to give you? Are they going to even listen to you? Are you able to discipline? What type of discipline are we able to do? What does that look like? All of these are conversations that need to be had with that woman and her kids. Where do I fit in here? Because most men don't want to be put in a situation where something happens, but you really have no say-so or correcting any issues that may arise. Then why am I here?
He doesn't even know those are questions to ask, Trey.
Which is the problem.
And that's why I think it was really, really hurtful when she went at him, at the mixer. I think Jordan, we don't know Jordan, we don't know the moment, but I'm giving him some grace here because he has been up and up. I think he was there talking to the fellas like, hey, have y'all dated someone who has kids? I'm scared about this. What happens? What if this? What if that? He did say, I don't want her daughter to feel like I'm coming in and kind of taking over her space, taking over her mom. He was looking for guidance, and then Amber was like, ringer. And it's like, whoa, I got to eat and talk to the dog because nobody else wants to talk to me.
I had those same questions. I was much younger. I didn't have my own kids yet. I had those same questions when I dated a girl with a kid. The same exact questions. How do I do this? What effect am I going to have in this? And she had a son. So what effect am I have in his life? I don't want to take over as his dad. Or should I take over as his dad? Is his dad in his life? I had questions. I didn't know what to do with that. Luckily, she was cool enough to actually, set some type of boundaries on how that would look. So it was a great learning experience. I would say that. And I always appreciate that for doing that. But I had questions. Like, and you're right, Elsie. He doesn't even know he didn't ask these questions. And no one's really gave him a good answer. If you notice, nobody's gave him a good answer. He has not been receiving answers. This is the only time I wish I was actually on the show. Bro, let me talk to you. Okay? Because I'll be honest with you, actually a lot of the answers that he probably could just be weird to do, and it doesn't happen that often. But when it does, it's beautiful. Most of his answers should have been answered when he met that girl's father. When they had a conversation by themselves, which I don't know if they even had a conversation by themselves. I felt like Amber was there the whole time. Sidebarring it.
But
those men should have walked off by themselves and had a frank conversation.
Man to man.
Here's my thing, though. Here's the thing. I wonder if that too spooked Amber. Okay. Amber said no man before.
Yes.
Man before has been nice to her. Now she has this nice guy, Jordan.
Not even her baby daddy. That's crazy.
The baby daddy, who is also one of the jerks of her past, but he is a good father. If he and Jordan are talking and
Jordan's,
she might get spooked. Why are y'all getting along so well when he was a jerk to me?
You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. You ain't gonna like this. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it may go down the path to her realizing, oh my God, I may have been the problem the whole damn time.
Bingo.
And I think this also rolls back into the concept of now that we're getting that for majority of the guys, not saying they're unproblematic. I think that in itself has a problem, but we're seeing that a lot of the women are signing up for this experiment and a lot of the guys are having to be recruited to come on the show. I think it lends to there being a interesting dynamic between the two, or at least like who's getting on this show. Like, what was your history beforehand? Because it seems like us as fans, and most of the fandom isn't guys, or I would say it's majority women. It's like none of the women can do no wrong, and they've never done any wrong in any of their past relationships. And so now they're on the show as these perfect angels, and all the guys, if they screw it once, or if you're not like a bumbling like idiot or lacking a backbone, you don't really get a lot of support from the fandom. It just makes you wonder. It makes your wheels turn a little bit about who's coming onto these shows, especially now with it being 10 seasons in and seeing the results that we get.
Easton, you're absolutely right, but you need to change the inference of that statement. It's not an interesting dynamic. It's a horrible dynamic. Now, it's great for TV ratings.
Yeah.
Just keep it real. If you're going to be all the way funky, just keep it real. That scenario is great for TV ratings. Because me and Elsa, we've talked about this beforehand. It is a total imbalance if most of your female constituents is signing up for the show and you have to go recruit the males. I'll tell you right now, half of your cast members are not taking this seriously.
At all.
Because it's not serious. They're only coming on the situation for a monetary gain to a certain extent, and because they know they can say no at the end of this and the fact, and they'll still be okay. And they're okay with the potential short-lived scorn that they might get on social media.
Right. But again,
so it's total imbalance.
That's another difference with the international versions. Yes, they do recruit some of the men, but not as much as they do in the US. There are a lot of men internationally who are applying to the show.
Yes.
Well, that's the fans' fault. I think that's simply the fandom has ruined.
That's on us.
I think it's on us as a fandom, as a collective. We've ruined the pool of people. Not everybody. We can't say everybody is a lion's share, but I think the parasocial group area of the fandom, part of the fandom that is like overly invested and always is on social media. The people who come out and out their boyfriend or exes. I think that part of the fandom has definitely killed a little bit of the. I think that's a big reason why a lot of the guys don't sign up for the show as they used to.
They're doing that internationally too. If you
Yeah,
were here
but
for Germany, and I went to the Germany chat and I put it in my comment section in my posts. I posted what they were saying about a particular villain on that show, and it was vile. So I ain't gonna say that they ain't getting it. They're getting it a different way. Just like in Japan, the guy had to leave the country. I'm
no,
serious.
I think that there are those experiences, but I'm saying like you have like heavy majority outside of like people who are really giving great breakdowns. Majority of the most popular commentary people and pundits are all best related. Storytime with Ricky, great. I love the information that she gives. Great stuff. But majority of her fans and the people that she caters to, all it's just, and I would say she's the largest in terms of following. In terms of even Jessie Woo. Granted, I love her breakdowns, but more people. She's funny, but more people want to listen to her ripping and tearing into people,
Exactly.
and that's more of what I think is why you see guys not coming onto the show and sign up for the show in as heavy of a clip, or even if the quality of guys are starting to shrink, in my opinion.
And let's be all the way real. It's not just ripping into certain people. It's certain sex of people, mainly the males that come onto the show. Just keep it real.
Yeah.
Just keep it real.
Well, the thing is that it is different here versus internationally, and people, give the audience what they want. That's exactly what we said. So just like Netflix, Love is Blind is giving the audience what they want. We are also giving the audience what they want. Yep. Do they want us, handling something, that is, a little bit polarizing? Fine. But yes, we are critical of both the women and the men here. We're able to at least say, hey, Amber is a tick tick boom.
That's here.
That's here. I get it. Maybe our chat in our community is different. I'm just saying the greater lion's share, I don't think so. And I think I call back to the whole Ashley and Tyler situation. Whenever both Storytime and Ricky and Jessie were on the live, and they said whenever AD kind of interjected and got into the mess, and when they said specifically that they held back some of the information about the sugar daddy stuff on purpose because she was a sister and they wanted to protect the sisterhood. I think that your two biggest pundits doing that shows you how maybe there's just a little bit of bias there. But hey,
there may be a little bit of bias, of course, but again, again, maybe it's because I don't receive as much of the feedback and feed in as they receive, that I keep things away, and I like to keep us just watching the show a lot of times. So that's where I think we're a little bit different, and again, Storytime Ricky, she's a journalist. She's an investigative. Yeah. She learned journalism. So that is a part of what she studied and what she does great. So while it may seem digging into the men, she's been digging into some of the ladies too, Well,
I was going to say, you're right. Well, but first off, Elsa, you've always been a more balanced individual. You've always done that. Mm-hmm. In everything I've ever seen you do.
Except for when I'm digging into you. But anyway.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Hold on. Too much. Call Mr. Elsa. Stop it.
He downstairs. I just heard him coming. I call him.
Yes. Yeah, he getting out of your wife getting out of hand. But but just prime example. It wasn't the first time, but I was a little shocked. I was watching Storytime Ricky, and she actually went in a little bit on another couple we're probably going to talk about next. Britney. I was shocked. But
why? I was not shocked.
You know why? No. You know why I was shocked? Because she was so resident to do it. She was resident to do it.
and how she was talking about Britney
Yes,
beforehand
she was
compared to
present.
now.
Here's the funny thing, because when we get, let's go ahead and get to him. Here's the funny thing. I think it was me and Elsie, actually me and Easton. We said this from the first episode about this girl. What did I say? I was like, she's beautiful, she's fine, but she's a little naive. She come off as a little naive to me and a little bit delusional. I said that first episode, the first live we did. I said that, and it's taken now. Now we get to the point where she blatantly put it in your face. Her little naive and the Lulu came out after getting left on that daggone couch.
We said give
it was big to Lulu. And see, even I'm being nice. I'm being nice. Because that was big to Lulu.
Her Delulu was so big it couldn't fit in his Honda.
I told y'all to give it a little time. Y'all gonna see for yourself, but y'all was so enamored by Britney's beauty that y'all wanted to, that halo effect, the pretty privilege. I said, just wait. There's a reason why. But continue, Trey.
Listen, like I said, we called this from the very beginning. Okay? And I was fair on both of them. I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work for both of them. Tell you why. And it was just red flags all over the place. I can't be responsible if this girl cannot see the red flags that he was throwing at her by this point. He was throwing at her. Like, girl, pick it up. Okay? Pick it up. Woo! That whole couch conversation. First, I was like, why are we having this conversation? Well, I'm glad we're having a conversation. Because unlike Elle said, I don't want to see it at the wedding. I don't want to see it at the wedding. At all. Hey, we've had discussions. I ain't with you on that. If you know that you're not gonna be with this person ain't for you, this and that third, I don't care what production, I don't care what contract. I'm not drag my personal self-respect and respect for you is not gonna allow me to drag you down to somebody's wedding just to give you some ratings on TV. I'm not doing it. Okay? I'm gonna end things with you. I'm not doing it. Yeah, you can spend all you want to. I'm not doing that. So I'm glad he finally was like, you know what? Enough is enough. We're not taking this to somewhere and whatnot. We're going to end this right here, even though she's still talking about some, oh no.
We're still engaged. We're taking a slight pause. That's what it is.
Get out of here. Slight pause. That man looked at her like, are you serious? He looked at her like, are you serious?
We get to choose our wedding day now. I still have the dress.
He was so disgusted by that. The fact that she...
Oh, my God.
He said, dear Britney, I hate your stinking guts. That's what he said.
Oh, my God.
You make me vomit.
She's a shadow. That was crazy. She's a shadow.
I can't even go to
and I believe him.
T-shirt without her being there. Yeah,
I believe
him.
Yeah,
I knew at the honeymoon that girl was a clinger. That girl got an anxious attachment style, larger than, I don't even know what to compare it to. Yeah. But she can't, if she don't get a bunch of reassurance, if she don't have, I ain't going nowhere. I'm on you like white on rice. That's what it is. But
yes.
Trey, I'll let you land. Let me let you land.
Yeah. I said this to a friend of mine. I was like, listen, okay, I'm saying it on here. This is not going to be nice. A donkey could have been in a tuxedo and she would have married the donkey. That's how desperate this woman just wants to be married. Which is a problem across the board, period. That's a personal problem. Okay? It also explains to me, I said this, and I want to talk to you about this. The way the father was trying to almost pass her off and get rid of her, like, oh, please take it. You know what that felt like to me? This is what it felt like to me. I'm not saying he's a bad dad, because I think he was a great father. But I think in his mind, he has realized that he has probably protected what no, he did a good job protecting and providing for her, but he probably sheltered her a little too much. And I think when she in her older years, I think he is starting to realize that. Oh no, I think I sheltered my daughter a little too much, and not actually prepare her for the real world that's out here, for real expectations of certain things. Because he was
Brittany,
way too quick to try to, hey, yes, please, thank you. A guy coming here, you look halfway decent. Yes, take her, please, take her. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm like, whoa, what is going on here?
Brittany is a L in the P and L. She is in his internal budgeting. She is a L in that P and L list in terms of she definitely is costing that man something, whether it be his time, his energy, his finances. When you date like if you dated women like that and dated with it, they dad ready to sign her off. They ready to put you on the insurance. They ready for the when something goes wrong with the car, somebody else to handle the business. They were ready for somebody to put the stuff together if they not there. And granted, your father's always supposed to be there, good, bad, or indifferent. But sometimes they get tired. Sometimes they want a true emptiness. And to me, Brittany don't give me a true emptiness. She seems like she still is very much so. And these are my own thoughts and opinions. Still really involved or really needs her father, which isn't again a bad thing. I'm just saying
Not bad. It's just not. It's not bad, but I
it's
can
not ideal.
tell.
It's not the most ideal situation or scenario.
Yeah, he did. It was to me. It was evident that they raised her for the most part well, but it also seemed like they raised her not to be self sufficient as well. There's no self sufficiency about her.
I won't say
She had
that.
no. I'll say this. I get a sense that she feels she must be attached to someone. She wants to be married so bad she has to be attached to someone. That's the ideal for her. That's the goal for her. Marriage, 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 marriage. And yet, I've not once seen her ask the question, when this situation comes up, I always say, it's not about the marriage. It's about who you married to. You ever see her ask really the hard question, who am I actually married? It never came up.
It didn't matter who it was. She was gonna get married or attempt to get married. She was. I mean, even to the point afterwards. I think that was her biggest issue is that she would just want to get married to anybody. And us as guys, we pick up on that. Like I'm asking you questions like so. You don't along with being the first nice guy or good guy that somebody dates. You also don't want to be the guy that's outside of the traditional like her traditional preferences in terms of dating because it's like why did you stumble across me, like what about me makes me particularly different. And she did that with Devonte Devo, who whatever he wants to name himself. He wasn't the particular archetype that she normally dates. You could pick up on that early on with what she was saying and how she thought Devonte was a little bit taller, a little bit more, fit, whatever it may be, whatever, however you want to call Devo. But she wasn't attracted to him neither. But she was gonna ride this donkey to the marriage, to the wedding. That's what it is. Devo. I mean, LC, you did put that comment on there. I don't know what Devo is supposed to do. We've seen it time and time again, and this is the only big cape I have for Devo is I don't even know why I'm calling this man Devo. He don't even respond to Devo. Devonte, that's what his mama call him. What is he supposed to do? We see him. I'm glad that he didn't take Britney like Ramses and all these other guys didn't take her up to the altar because you see how delusional she was then. Imagine she finally get there. Oh, she would have probably said all the vows. She would have done all the proceedings. She would have put the ring on both the other fingers. She would have jumped over the broom, broke whatever glass, done all the little customary stuff. I don't know what Devo could have done differently besides, not picking Britney. Outside of that, there's nothing he could have done.
Everybody came into the pods looking to marry somebody. So again, He knew from the pods that Britney had this dress. So he need to miss me with that. He knew from day one she had this dress, and it could be any man from the pods. Devonta, whatever his mama named him, Devo, knew. So that was foolishness. I was kind of listening to him until he said that thing about the dress. You knew, sir. Britney never hid it from any of us that she bought her dress. I have my dress. I have my dress. I have my dress. So he knew. So yes, it was. And he still proposed to her.
It's a foundational thing.
And she knew from the foundation that she had the freaking dress.
Yes, but Trey, maybe it's just, I don't know. I ain't going to just push it up to a guy thing. But if I see something is a little bit off, maybe one thing, I'm like, But once I start to see more and more of the puzzle getting laid out and pieces start to come together, I'm like, oh, this person is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I need to try to evacuate.
The only grace I'm giving him is the fact that when she said you can have access to my body even during my celibacy journey, as far as we know, they did not.
Let's hope not.
No,
as far as the editing has shown us, he did not. That is the only thing I'm gonna say. Okay. But here's the thing. They both trying to try this out. They're both trying to try out the other, which is not their preference. Okay.
Yes, because she wasn't feeling him in the beginning either.
She said everybody gets fat anyway. He was fatter than what she used to, and he missed leg day. His legs are too scrawny for the top half. I'm sorry. They both were trying to grin and bear it.
You know what? I have to push back just a little bit on the notion that they all were here to look for marriage. We just had a conversation not too long ago.
Recruited.
Half of these men are being recruited. I cannot make the notion that, oh no, they're really looking for marriage. No, they're looking to come up here to play. This is just a game that they can play up to a certain amount of time and then they get paid for it. That's it. There's no seriousness about it. None.
Again, it is the 10th season. If they don't know by now that how you behave and how you're portrayed could be two different things, I feel sorry for them. The Delulu is real for the entire cast.
It is.
Oh, true.
It is.
That's very true. Listen,
we're not nobody.
They pick certain people for a reason. They go after and pick certain people for a reason.
Here's my thing with Britney. The girl don't listen. She don't listen. She didn't listen to him on that couch. Was my last straw. And like, girl, you get what you get. She didn't listen.
Oh, it should have been way before then.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was the last straw on the couch, though. It was the last straw. Like, come on.
Exactly. The couch was the last straw. She didn't listen with the prenup. Now all of a sudden, oh yeah, we could do a prenup. I think it's good. Girl, you're trying to move this man into your house, park his Honda in the front. I have no offense to Honda, y'all. Okay.
Right.
Park his Honda to the front, and you're gonna have him move in, and you're not thinking about a prenup to protect your deed and property. The Delulu, where's her father? He should have been saying, girl, don't have this man move into your house where you have your business.
He's trying to get rid of him. What you talking about?
He is.
Why are you trying to get rid of your daughter and not making sure she has a safe place to land?
And that's the real question.
Why are you 99% sure? Mr. Elsa gonna come up and figure out why I'm trying to scream and yell. Why are you 99% sure this is the man for you when this man is saying, I'm gonna see you later?
He said, I listened to his response on TikTok. He said that he trusts his daughter. And I was like, now, brother, that's the last thing I would. I trust my daughter and the decisions that she makes. Now, every parent, huh?
Sorry, ladies, when a man said we will be in touch, what does that mean?
Well,
my people will call your people. my people will call your people.
Done. We done. That's what I mean. We done. Like, come on. Like, come on.
That kid was so uncomfortable when she went. I said, "Yeah, you for sure." That's what told me she was an anxious.
I'm sorry, y'all. We talked about Amber and meeting her daughter Emma. Britney has not met this man's mother, even off camera. Why are we
Tells,
marrying this man and we have not met his family? What are
tells
we
you
talking
everything.
about? Oh, golly. I just,
I'm not
Britney is
putting
the type of friend that I can't stay friends with. I cannot. I will not be the friend in the Delulu world because I'm Cher. I'm telling you, snap out of it, or else
Mm.
I'm gonna leave you. You be your Delulu self. Don't call me crying over this man.
LC, did you see the paintings from Netflix on all the icons for Love Is Blind? They got Britney over here with the ring picture of her in the pod with the ring. I said, y'all, whoever on Netflix's programming team who put that picture up there, they need a raise because they know how to capture a moment. Because Britney for sure was delusional, but again,
But
I'm not saying that Devo
no,
is a good person. I just
I'm
don't think that there's much she could have done. I don't think that there's much you could do in these type of situations.
I'm sorry, and I hate this may sound insensitive. It may sound insensitive, okay? Has anyone come out to corroborate the fact that this man's grandfather has passed away? Because it could be a load of crock. It could be an excuse. Call me in 8 days. It sounds like a call me in 8 days and see if I need the way to escape from these pods.
It didn't matter. It really didn't because when we heard Britney talking in that mic, and she was like, "Well, my grandmother died last week, and I got over it in 2 weeks." Like it's she how she, like we got to take a step back, and I get it that Devo might be self hating and stuff like that, but Britney when they were on that mic said, "Man, my grandma died like a year ago, and I got over it in a week or two, and this is messing up my entire experience on the pod." Like it wasn't like it was she is just as much like culpable in her own demise as Devo was. I think that again, Britney, because she's attractive, conventionally attractive, will give her a halo effect, and she gets a little bit of residual from pretty privilege. Yes,
Ain't no
She's
halo
fine.
effect.
She's
yeah, it
fine.
definitely is a halo effect.
She's
The
fine.
fact, the fact
The
that she's
fact.
She was
beautiful.
not fine after you telling this man he could feel up on your chest. Come on.
Oh no, she's still
No.
fine.
She's
She's just foolish.
she's just like
She's
us.
foolish.
She's just foolish, and most guys will get the ick.
Well, no. Some guys may get the ick, but some guys will be like, you know what? I'm gonna swim in this pond for a little bit to
Yeah.
Delulu
To
enough,
me.
and then they
That's
would
the
bounce.
it.
Yeah.
Joe last season literally was over here sleeping with Madison the
He ain't like
whole
that girl at
time,
all.
and
He ain't like that girl at
he
all.
hated her. I'm telling you, most guys would get the ick, and then you'd be like, "Oh, well, he's still doing stuff." It don't matter. What did Amber say? Most dudes would screw a chicken sandwich.
This is a situation where at least the guy had a wherewithal not to sleep with this woman, even though she was trying to throw it at him.
It could have gone way worse. Way worse. Imagine
Way worse.
imagine they would have been intimate. Boop. Oh, it would have been a wrap.
If she is this clingy and you have not laid the delash on her, I am scared for her
Beyond
past
stage
partners.
5. Beyond stage 5.
Beyond stage 5.
It's
This
like,
is
what in
beyond
the
stage 5.
world? Or is it the celibacy journey of not having any?
Nah, you were clingy to begin with.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing I need to know. Here's the thing I need to know about that Honda. Is it paid off? Because if it ain't paid off, we have a problem.
We do have a problem. Now that's
yeah,
what
bro,
I was
you
gonna
making
say.
this much money? All right, bro, nah. Don't listen. I ain't cracking on the Honda Civic. Gas prices are crazy out here.
Honda Civic is A1 with me, but I need to know if you paid it off.
But you ain't telling me you making $12,000 a month and $40,000 a month, whatever. This car ain't paid off, bro. I don't want to hear that. Okay.
And the car is more than 2 years old.
I don't want to hear none of that.
You should have been able to pay that car off. If not, paid it in cash and bought it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she did not want to recognize any of his uninterested signs because we are still engaged. We're on a pause. When he said that, when she said that, I saw his face and he had this moment of, oh, she ain't listening to me. I'm going to just have to dip and ghost her before she
That's all
realizes
you
I'm
can
gone.
do.
My
That's all
people
you
gonna
can
talk to
do.
you. That's she's the type of person that you send your mom to talk to. You send your mama or your sister to talk to get your things, and then you retreat because you can't win in this situation. That's the type of person.
This is a prime example. You guys have talked about this before. This is a prime example of you. You don't want to be rude to somebody because she's come up with a sweet person. She's not vindictive, mean like that, whatever. But the problem is, you may have to be rude to her to try to get the damn point.
And
even then, I'm not sure if she's going to catch it.
But
She's
then
stuck on you like glue.
But
She's stuck on you.
But if you do that, you become even more of a villain. You
Exactly.
not only do you hate yourself, you hate Afro Latinas. Yeah.
I need to know how often she was calling this man. How many times she drove by the house she thought he lived at. I need to know because it's giving me like Married at First Sight, Austin, that she is rolling by to see me home.
These Britney's boy.
Brittany. I think that there's look, and everybody wants to focus. It's the same thing. We focus so much on old dude. What was it? What's the dude?
What was that guy name? What was that guy name? Elsa. What was his name?
What
like
it wasn't Michael. It was
I don't know who
I
the
forgot.
dude.
Married at First Sight, Austin.
But everybody was like, the dude got a blockhead. He's too intellectual, and he's
trying to be going in on him.
And some of the stuff is true, but I get everybody wants to hyper focus on Devo and him not liking black people, although he was engaged to a black woman. Will. But we got to focus on the task at hand. And with people like Britney, you got to let the season go by. You can't just go hyper fixate on the first week. You got to let the couple weeks go by, and you get to see them in more detail.
Another Marissa and Ramses.
They tried to make. We seen this before. I had a great analogy about this, right? We'll get to this couple later, but I was like, okay, these shows, they always try to set you up who's going to be the villain of the season. Now you have what the show try to set up as a villain, and then you have what the audience chooses to be the actual villain of the season. And sometimes they don't coincide. The villain, they made a concerted effort from looks of it, to try to make Alex the villain of the season. But if you notice, the audience, preferably one side of the audience, tried to make Devonte the villain. They were trying they were trying everything to do. Oh no, this guy in it, blah blah blah. This that.
With the sisterhood of the traveling pants,
they did the same thing to Will. They did the same thing to Will on Married at First Sight. They absolutely wanted to make him the villain. When we got to the end, we started to realize actually Will was looking like, yo, y'all need to take a closer look at this shit.
It was at the honeymoon. It was at the honeymoon.
It was not great. All I'm saying is
all season Will was getting a bad. We
don't want to bring up that honeymoon situation,
right? And then once we found out with more detail about,
we don't want to bring up that honeymoon situation because it seems like he asked her, hey, are you ready to have, do you want to have for whatever happened?
Whatever it
start
was.
Tripping out on him. After that, he was like, you know what? Nah, we ain't doing this again.
We ain't doing it again. That was what Will said on Married at First Sight Austin. Yeah, I understand. That's what he said. And she was like, what do you mean you pulling back? What do you mean you don't want to do this anymore? Again, it's wild. It's wild. But in this case, in my head, Britney is wild. We are sitting here. We have not met his family. We have not met his mother. I doubt she's even talked on the phone with the woman. Yet and we are looking. This is supposed to be our wedding day.
On purpose, and Devo did that by I think that we are by that decision. We should use that decision and you backtrack it, and you like, okay, well, he didn't do this and he didn't do this because again, we get mad at these people, specifically the guys, if they drag you up to the altar to say no. But if Devo has not done anything to show you any inclination that you are the person he's marrying, what else can he do differently?
I'm sorry, Easton. You know you grate my nerves when you say he dragged you to the altar. You are contractually obligated
We know
to
this.
take the
We
stand at the altar.
we know this, and so that's why I
Bump
get
that
this away.
contract. That's what I'm saying.
We
Bump
did.
that contract. What they gonna do? Nothing. What they gonna do to me? Nothing.
They're gonna
Okay?
edit you.
Try.
They're gonna edit
Fine.
you.
They can edit me all I want to. What you ain't gonna say is that I took this woman down in the road, down in the gutter when I knew I ain't like her.
The altar
You
is
ain't
not
gonna
the
never do
gutter.
that about
I'm
me.
sorry. That is not the gutter. This is a
It's
contract.
part of the show. It's part of the
It's
process.
the
I get
gutter.
that. I get that. I'm just saying we know this, but I'm saying what do we expect if I don't like my partner, or if my partner's annoying, or whatever it may be? What do you do? Which is why I say you're in a lose-lose situation. And when everybody argues with me about it, I'm like, well, what do you want him to do? He could have slept with her like Joe. He could have took it to the altar like Clay. He could have said something mean to her and broke things off like
Passed out.
yes. He could have spazzed out.
Listen,
I'm
we
lost for
always
words because I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Or as he said, he could have married her and then figured out a way to get out of it as quickly as possible.
No, he would have got flamed for that too.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I just want the fans and the listeners to implore that. Like, what do you want him to do? What is a better move to do it? Because he's never shown her one ounce of like, oh, we're getting married. He didn't like her at the honeymoon. He didn't want a hickey from her. She throwing the box at him, lobbing it to him. Didn't take it.
And tell me all I need to say right there.
No date.
Oh no, you don't like this girl.
Didn't meet my family. What more do y'all want? Because y'all still stuck on him not liking black people. Cool, I got you. But I think it's deeper than that. And what do y'all want him to do? Because he could have slept with her like Joe.
Elsie, I have to bring this up again because we seen this happen. Easton had a point. On this show, it is slanted towards the women. It has always been that way. It's going to be that way for the foreseeable future. Even though we have noticed they've been trying to turn that around a little bit, it's always been that way. Case in point, talked about this, Elsie. Down in Brazil, Elder Edition. Homeboy was named Fabio. What Fabio? What was that boy? What the guy named?
Revo.
Revo met homegirl. What did he say?
Lika.
Met Lika in the reveal. He knew immediately this was not going to work. Not him.
No,
yeah. What's her name? What's the name?
Her name was Lulu, and his name was Mario.
Mario, that's right. Mario stood at that door. When them doors opened, he knew immediately this ain't it. This ain't it. What did he do? He, as much respect as he could muster, he walked down there, met her in the middle, grabbed her hands, and said, "I'm so sorry, but this is just not going to work for me." With respect. It's just
this
not
is
going to work
after, for y'all who didn't watch season 5 of Love is Blind Brazil, this is after he done said what he gonna do, everything he gonna, every surface he gonna do it on with her.
Elsie, you're proving my point. You're proving my point. Okay? You already trying to qualify his answer. Oh, he stood her up because he said he was going to promise her to do this. Nah. They met. It wasn't going to work. He told her to her face, "I'm sorry, baby. It's just not going to work. It's not attraction for me there. I'm good to go." And walked away. And I remember because Samantha was with us on that panel.
Why you got to call people out?
Yeah, I was calling them out because Samantha was with you. I was like, hold on. I was the only one standing there. I was like, wait a minute. You can't win for losing. You can't win for losing. Y'all tried to eat him alive.
Yeah, because he promised to eat her alive.
Stop it. Stop it. You're doing that for proving our point. You can't win for losing. Either you take her down into the valley.
You can still be polite.
He was polite. He grabbed her hands. He said, "I am so sorry, but it's just not an attraction for you. It's just not going to work for me." He was being a gentleman.
He walked
Told her
clean
gently.
out. He didn't even wait for the
Yes.
doors to close. Again.
For what?
Again.
For what?
Again. He was rude.
Yes.
He was rude.
Thank you, Samantha, for taking accountability. At least we have a grown woman that can do so. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Well, since I'm acting like a child, let's just be a child.
You have been eliminated.
They can't handle the truth. They cannot handle the truth. Can't win for losing. That's what I'm talking about. It don't matter.
Stand on that Mario was rude, but let's bring it back from Brazil and take it to Ohio, okay? Here's my thing. Okay. I can see Britney making this mistake over and over and over again in her life. That's why I'm heated about her. The young lady, I don't know. And here's the thing. Daddy is supposed to be there to protect and guide her until such time as her husband comes along. And I don't think Daddy is doing the right thing in trying to guide her. I'm sorry. I'm mad. Because I'm like, she is going to be, just, floundering out there. Oh, he could have left sooner. He could have left sooner. He could have.
The days between Chris telling Jessica and him telling, it was like a week in between. It wasn't like they were like at the beginning between them getting back from the honeymoon. It's when Chris told Jessica. It wasn't that much large amount of time between that and the day before the wedding. I get it. I understand it. What people want to say. I'm gonna lay my plan on this. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I get that we want to hold Britney in this really, really pristine position. I always say that because really pretty people on Love is Blind get the halo effect and they get a little bit of pretty privilege shared amongst them. Same way with Marissa did with Ramses. And we kind of like lean in on Devo. I don't think that, from what I've heard on the outside, I'm not saying that I think that Devo is this great guy. I'm just saying in the experiment, what are you to do? You can't, there's nothing, he could have told her sooner. Okay, and then I look like a bad guy. You could have went to the altar. I look like the bad guy.
You wouldn't have been a bad guy in Trey's estimation if you told her sooner.
I agree. I don't.
No, he was going to be a bad guy. Period.
Regardless, that's what I'm saying.
He was going to be a bad guy. Period.
And
the fact that he didn't like her, he was going to be a bad guy. The fact that you couldn't fathom why he didn't like her, he was going to be a bad guy.
Because what was everybody's thought process behind it is like, how can he not like this beautiful, beautiful, amazing Afro-Latino woman? How could Devo with no neck, looking like a tater tot, self-hating Devo not like this black woman? That's what everybody said.
Yep. Dave, maybe listen to me. Everybody is not your cup of tea. I have no problem with people on this show not liking the person in front of them for whatever reason. You don't blend in my life. We don't live in the same town. Your parents hate me. Whatever it is, it's just that don't lie to them. Don't lie to yourself. It's okay. It's okay for him to.
We see what happens when you don't lie to yourself. I get, and with this example, he was a little bit mean, but Akechi and Amem and Britney got the same level of Delulu.
Well,
but what was different? Akechi said he didn't like her from the get-go, and we see what happens. That man book got 114 dislikes and a 0.1 star on Amazon. And this is why you don't want to be the bad guy, regardless how honest you are on any show like this. But hey, it is what it is.
She is delusional. He's a coward. Pattern of behavior. My thing is they both will follow that pattern. Trey, have the last words so we can get to the last one.
All right, I'll land the plane on it. Listen, Devonte, no, he should not have been on the show either. I thought he was unserious from the beginning, especially when I found out he was recruited as well. Unserious. Shouldn't have been here. Should not have been here. but the flash was popping up on him, which we called out from week one. Granddaddy died, you still here? Why? You got some type of, I don't know if it's actually hate or not, but there's something going on between you and your ancestry that needs to be handled or discussed or whatever, bro. For real, for real. I don't know what it is. And they're keeping it like that because we didn't get a chance to meet on his family to even find out what more about that. No, he should have never been on here either.
Yeah, he should have never been here. He should have left when it was morning time. But let's get to the main event, please. Ding, 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 ding. Ashley and Alex. It's a snatch the mic, drop the mic event where Alex didn't even bother to get a freaking haircut. He didn't bother to wipe his beard before he got to that altar having the lint or crumbs all over it. I was disgusted. He didn't even bother to get that jacket tailored, looking like a box suit on him. I knew he was a no from the minute he was dogging her family out when he was hanging with his friends. And I know she was a no. The way her daddy had to remind her to use her black belt, and the way her mama came in a pantsuit ready to rumble is for a quick exit. I knew she was out of here, but I didn't know how we were going to be out of here. Now it gave us a glimpse of Zaynab and Cole, but instead, it was much better. Zaynab thought she had the right, but I was like, Ashley was a little bit better because we saw the red flags that was Alex. And, apparently, word on the street is Alex and Devo are roommates. I don't know how true that is. That's a word on the curb. But I don't know why we telling this man all these things when we couldn't tell him that with the water bottles and all the other things. I'm just like, the way her daddy looked at his mother, he knew what was coming. Her daddy knew exactly what was about to happen. And I put it in a post on IG. But Easton, tell us, what do you think about, as they call her, MAGA Barbie?
With this one, let's start on the outside and then work our way to the inside. The mother with this silver bedazzled dress wasn't a pick that I would select. Wasn't something that I would like have at the top of my list. But hey, you're a nomad. You driving trucks. You went to Ross and Marshalls. You went and got you a good dress. Hey, I ain't mad at it. It looked good. I wouldn't have worn it for this occasion. But hey, me and you aren't the same. The mom. Ashley mom came in looking like a women's NCAA basketball coach. I ain't mad at it. She was sharp in that suit. That suit was clean. That color really looked good. Her daddy was looking like George Washington. I was rocking with it. I was rocking with the ambiance. I knew that man Alex was unserious because, like El said, I know a prom suit when I see one. That man got that from Men's Warehouse. He said, just give me the $59.99 deal. Budget, boom, came in, didn't have no lineup. He had the neck beard, the hair was all over the place. And so the friends, they didn't even know much about the girl. His analogies about soccer, again, that man is an extremely wounded person. I hope he talks to that lady extensively. But all of this made a lot of sense as to why what was going to happen happened. Also her and these tears. I'm like, man, why are you crying about how much you like and you talking about the experience and him? And I'm like, this is a perfect use case or a perfect case study about who production forces that contractual part to go to the altar, because there was nothing in that let me know that they were actually like ready to be married. But we get to the altar. Now, this is where I have as much as it's easy to dislike Alex, I pitied him a tad bit and I started to dislike Ashley a little bit more. This moment that you wanted to create a Deep D Zaynab moment didn't land like you thought it would. It didn't eat like you thought it was going to eat. And the problem is that, one, it was super rehearsed. At least with Deep D and Zaynab, like it was a little bit like they ad-libbed a little bit. Yours was like word for word, bar for bar. I wrote this on a piece of paper with my dad. We stayed up late at night and we just let them practice it. 2, the issues that you had to air out were things that you like could have just told us behind the scenes. You could have told you if it was such a big issue about him lying and him and this chick that's in Austin or Florida or whatever it may be, you could have let us know this behind the closed doors. But you wanted to bring this up in front of everybody and question his integrity and all this other stuff. You knew this way beforehand, so why are you telling us now? Ashley, I want to appreciate you and acknowledge the issues that Alex did have, and he was very inconsistent. His stories didn't make a lot of sense, but you didn't have to do that, and I felt like you were punching down in a way. And your dad knew what kind of family situation he had. You were talking about his childhood. I'm so about how he outgrew and his childhood and stuff like that. Like, ma'am, if you punching down. So all that, I wasn't really feeling Ashley like that. Yes, Alex, who he handled it as much as he could, but he was wounded, and it is what it is.
Trey, how do you feel?
If you saw Ashley eating up there on her little speech, even up a fool in yourself, okay? You need to take a look at your own self. You got some issues, okay? This was performative to the highest level. And I'm gonna say this. Y'all keep playing with Alice's mom if you want to. She meet you out on that road. I'm telling you who's gonna win. It ain't gonna be you. All right? I'll be for real. You keep playing with his mom if you want to. She meet you out on that highway. My money is on her. Okay? You ain't walking away from that. So you can, daddy, you smirk all you want to. All right? You might not even get a horn blow. You just get hit. Boom. He's over. Done.
She delusional. She don't know her son is a liar.
Whatever. You know what? No. You know what? Enough of this. Let's really talk about this. I alluded to this earlier. Alex was brought onto this show to be the villain of the season. The problem is he wasn't quite the villain that they wanted him to turn out to be. The main issue why he was that villain, to my recollection, there's only one instant that he could say he kind of lied about or misrepresented the truth. And that was that ex that was down in Florida.
That's it. Like it, Elfid. That was it.
That's it. And that's what I gave him the most smoke about. Because everything else he has said about himself from the very beginning. I told y'all the first live we had, I don't know why Alex on the show. Because he's an F-boy. From his own words, from his own words to his own past, his nomad lifestyle, he's been here, there, all over the place. The ambiguous nature of all these relationships, when did this end, when did that end, this and that third. He said all of this in the pods. Every last bit of it.
He also said he is ready to put down roots.
Correction.
Not
he
with
was
Ashley.
brought on his show and they gave him the line to say he's ready to put down roots.
And he said it. He groaned. He decided to say it.
Nah, see, we can't be hypocritical and pick and choose. Pick and choose which outrage we want to be on here, okay? I like I said before, any person I find out that's recruited to come on the show, first of all, they're unserious. I don't believe nothing they're telling me. This is all for the show. No, all for real. But I told y'all from the very beginning, that's an F-boy. So any woman that got with him, he was telling you he was an F-boy. It's the crazy part to me. Told you he was an F-boy. And so any woman that got with him turned out to be Ashley. I'm looking like, baby girl. Really? Really? Okay, whatever. We go on their little journey. And the whole journey, all I could see was two magnet people trying to eat each other. Like they're just fighting against dumb stuff. I'm like,
Basically.
what was happening? He tells you, you know, you're usually not my type. Told her that during the reveal. Usually not my type. Out here openly flirting with Britney a little bit. And then try to downplay her when she's out here asking questions. Because she ain't stupid. You know, she saw what was going on. You come back. You know, you gave him access to your body. That's on you. Okay? Nobody else. He accepted. Like if boys do. Okay? You come back. Now you all on the tenterfoot because he didn't want to touch you no more. First, they gave the excuse of, you was going through a little cycle. I'm sorry. Most men ain't going to be comfortable with you doing that on your cycle. Unless we're a couple of months in, it's a committed relationship, then okay, we can run some red lights. But besides that, already problems. You want to argue about some water bottles in the refrigerator? Miss me. You trying to argue about, you know what I'm saying, he's not touching you like you want you to. He's already telling you he's getting ick. You're not his type. And you're trying to get him to do something that he ain't in for. It almost felt like, this is his words, it almost felt like entrapment. That's low key what he was trying to say.
He said, you ain't trapping me with no kid.
Nah. That's basically what he was getting at.
His no job. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? I know. I feel you, Elsie, but guess what?
And that's the sad part. That's the sad part.
Who would want to, and she acted like she wanted to. That's the crazy part of all of this.
What was the biggest part of her grievances with him at the altar? We weren't being intimate no more. I mean, he was doing something. He was putting it down to make her fall in love.
Here's a little wake up call for you, gentlemen. Maybe, as much as he's an F boy, maybe she's just an F girl. If I'm going to be stuck here with you, I might as well get a scratch and a good time.
The daddy know what kind of dog he got. He knows.
We said that from the beginning too. She ain't fit. Never was fit. That's why they were kind of perfect for each other. God's honest truth. They were actually kind of perfect for each other.
It's wild that people are trying. I get Alex is not likable. I'm not here as an Alex defender. I'm just saying,
no one likes him.
Do y'all not see Ashley for what she is? Like, I get it that man is a nomad. He could be couch surfing, this, that, and the third. But I would also want you, maybe it's because I have a little bit more preconceived knowledge. Go to Storytime with Ricky. She just dropped some really good tea about Ashley. I'm not going to spoil it for nobody, but there's a little bit more to the story.
All on the internet, it's not a spoiler. Because we should bring it up. If it's on the internet, it's not a spoiler. It's out there now.
MC is okay. Because I know you. Apparently, she was connecting with the sneaky link, and she had a sneaky link and a significant other on the side this entire time, even before her and time. It don't matter. I'm not gonna use that to defend Alex at one bit. I'm just saying that we over here caping and defending for somebody who ain't worth it in the first place.
Oh, great! And Alex,
her daddy said it. Her daddy said she has a bad picker. Yeah. So again, she picked this man. Okay, she picked this man. Is a bad picker already. Daddy knew it. Alex, meanwhile, I'm sorry. Here's where I knew Alex was full of crap. I mean, when I really understood the aroma of the crap he was full of, ain't nobody who does any kind of currency, trading. They don't trade one currency against another. That is some luck of bull crap. And I said, Ashley, don't you smell it? You should smell it.
We told that we said from the get-go. We said he
put it out from the very beginning.
Wait, let me speak to my ladies. Ladies.
Oh Lord.
I hope y'all paid attention that he got her off her square for what? A Happy Meal. A Happy Meal. For chicken freaking nuggets. He got her off her square.
Now, is that on him or her?
Yeah,
is that on him or her?
That's on both of them.
Let us know.
Is that on him or her? Because I'm sorry.
Both of them.
I can only give but so much smoke to a person who told me who they are from the very beginning.
He told you he was over here nomading it up. he wants to be. My issue with Alex is that again,
unstable.
you supposed to be on a show that's predicated in Columbus. Again, I have equal smoke for everybody. If you want to leave, if you don't want to be here, if you over here like I'm going to travel the world, you don't need to be on a show like this. But again, you knew who it was, and my alarm. Everybody in the chat, I said from the first week, if y'all want to listen, I said if they don't look like they need to be on the show, they don't need to be on the show. Alex, regardless of how homeless and nomadic he looks, and how he does not have a job, he don't look like he's stressing for women. Honestly, he don't look like
he's paying rent with the Delash.
Boom.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Guess what? And it must be good rent payment because she was in hissy fit for not receiving funds.
She punched in the air.
She did not have the apartment.
She's an intimacy.
Was rent-free too.
And yet she was still punching the air on it. Why?
Here's the thing. Now y'all acting like y'all don't understand, okay? Like y'all ain't been in that position as men, okay? The minute she goes and takes your toy from you, aren't you having the same response?
Hold on, I've never been a bum. What you mean?
I didn't say bum. I said if a woman has withheld from you, ain't you punching the air too?
You know what I'm doing? I'm moving on. Let's pray, Maya.
I'm not falling for this propaganda because last time I felt this trap, everybody was saying that I was siding with the assault people because I said KB and Edmund. You remember that fiasco?
Remember that mess? Move on.
Not gonna do it.
No, if you're gonna play games like that with your coochie, then it's a game I am not going to engage with you with. Okay?
They're playing games with chicken nuggets.
And she fell for it.
McDonald's chicken nuggets, they're the worst chicken nuggets ever.
The worst ones. I get it.
That's what he could afford. That's what the currency trade. He spent his whole profit for the day on them chicken nuggets.
Listen, you can't even keep using that excuse because he told you his financial statement in the very beginning. He was a bump off rip, and yet you still chose him.
No. He never said he was a bump. He said he got a severance. He said he got a severance package from work where he was employed. Okay, and that allowed him to travel the world.
And that takes money. So that means he used up a lot of that severance package.
I am a day trader.
And he said he was a soccer coach, and he said he was working at a gym in Australia. And again, these things were also corroborated by looking up his history. Like these people, he had people who worked with him at Merrill Lynch who said this stuff. I think everybody's caught by how far-fetched the stories were that they were like, "Oh, he's lying about everything." No, the man's telling the truth. It's not far-fetched. It makes sense if during COVID when from traveling was down, when people were getting laid off and you couldn't stay, like he showed the Airbnb list. He stayed in like 21 different cities and a couple of different countries throughout that entire period. I think
he's an actual nomad.
I think everybody was so hell bent on like, hey, we're gonna hammer him down on him being a liar that we didn't want to think objectively that Ashley had a terrible picker and that was the issue. That is their origin story of this entire.
They picked each other.
This man told you he was unstable. He basically told us he was
going to put down roots and just not in Ohio.
Yeah.
He said he wanted a wife and kids. True. He also freaking wanted the daggone trust fund in Dubai and a safe house in New Zealand.
Yeah. And you know what the funny thing is? He's probably going to have those things.
He's the type of person going to lie his way into it.
He's probably actually going to have those things.
It's wonderful to me, Trey, that you cape for your brethren like this.
Cape? This ain't a cape. I don't like this dude. I told y'all from the very beginning, don't talk to this fool. Why are you talking to him? Stay away from him. Red flags, big MAGA head. Get away from this guy. I said that from the very beginning. But I also said he was honest about everything that he said, except for one instance, that ex that living in Florida. That's the real reason why he's moving there. That's the real reason. Everything else he has said.
He
Everything
said
else
it.
he has said. When he started naming all these cities he was living at, whatever, what did I say? I was like, no, don't deal with that. Don't deal with that. Already he can't even keep track of where he lived because he lived in so many daggone places. Women are overlapping. Okay, that's going to happen when you live in that type of
And
nomad lifestyle.
and when the truth about his ex was rising to the surface, he was like, Priyanka, why are you here?
Listen,
that was
I'll
relevant.
be honest with you.
That was
It
relevant.
was relevant, but I'll be honest with you. I listen. Priyanka is not a good reference to use in this situation because she's culpable. Okay, because I'm still on this. There ain't no way y'all knew. You knew from the get go who he was in the pods, and you said nothing to the rest of the women. You said nothing.
No, she said nothing to production as well. But here's the other thing.
I don't
Y'all
even believe that.
understand? Priyanka was engaged in the pods. Do you
Yeah.
understand that they would have sidelined, yes, Vic and Christine to have Priyanka then meet up with Alex in Cabo? Production knew nothing. So both of them were lying. And that may be why Ashley talked about his integrity. Both of them
Don't
lied
blow
and said
my
they didn't know
spot
each
up.
other.
Don't blow my spot up, and I won't blow your spot up. I'm guarantee you that's what happened between them. I guarantee. Come on now.
If you ain't got a spot to go kaboom, then you shouldn't worry.
No,
that's
Priyanka
cute. That's
Priyanka
real
wasn't
cute.
engaged. She wasn't engaged. She wasn't the people that was engaged. Her storyline, she didn't matter anymore. She wasn't engaged. It was
She would have mattered if they knew that she and Alex knew each other.
And I still don't believe that that production didn't know. I still don't.
I want to know also why Alex
because
changing his name
I'll put it to you this way: if they really didn't know, I mean, I changed my name from Alec too. That's a corny name, but nah. But for real though, the reason why I said production knew is because let's keep it real. If they really didn't know, it wouldn't even come up at the mixer either. Why is it coming up now? No, they knew. They just waited then to set it up.
It came up at the mixer because they put them at the same table to see how it goes.
But nah.
But why put them at the same table? Why put them at? If you didn't know, why would you put them at the same table? No,
because we just found out. Just found out, so we need y'all together.
Priyanka came out with too much smoke. She wasn't over here like, oh, how's life been? I haven't seen you in some years. She was like, wait, didn't you say you was going to that you were moving to Austin and you were moving and you stayed with the ex and da-da-da. She had too much dip and smoke allocated towards Alex. She knew they knew.
Mentioned that.
You know what else said?
He mentioned that. He said, yeah, I went to Austin for a while and stayed with someone, happened to be my ex. Said that.
I still agree with his integrity to be called into question. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna stand on it.
Should have been called into question from day one. That's what we've been saying this whole time.
If they don't look like they need to be on the show, they don't need to be on the show.
Here. But it's just that whole performance. That whole performance at the end, that speech, for what? It's not needed. It was unnecessary.
I appreciated the grab the mic because what you're not going to do is reject me. I'm going to reject you first. I appreciated the grab the mic. Now, whether somebody didn't appreciate it, I appreciate it. Like, I ain't going to let you, Mr. You ain't got no place to live, tell me about myself here at this here altar. Not happening.
It won her nothing.
No, what she should have done is she should have said all that stuff and then walked off. The problem is she wanted to go tit for tat with Alex, and then it was like, okay, and she didn't get no emotional rise from him. And then she's like, this is a win for me. I'm like, ma'am, when you do a walk-off moment, you walk off. You don't continue to badger and go back and forth with the person. She wanted an emotional response. His narcissism was like, okay. And she was a little upset.
Didn't get it.
And they didn't get it. And then it continued to roll on. That's why my issue.
I think she wasn't allowed to leave. Well, production allowed to leave because he got a moment to say, that he, truly respects her. He disagrees about the integrity. Again, he got a chance. I liked that part. That not just a no and walk off. I appreciated Alex, even though it was lackluster. He was stunned a little bit. He needed to like eat the crumbs off of his beard a little bit, but he was given an opportunity to respond.
It's real funny how much power we give production when we want to. Oh, they have all the control of the world, and then all of a sudden they have none.
I find it interesting, Elton. You like to pull out the production card like a big joker at the space.
I know, right? You straight up came with it. Production said, "You gotta come here."
Production.
You know what?
No, you can't leave. We need to film Alex's response. Go.
No, whatever. They could have had his response after she left. It fell flat. The whole situation was flat. It was dumb. We all knew they both was gonna say no. There was another couple. They both talked beforehand, and this is gonna be a no. She decided to have a moment and to try to have a big moment in television history, and it didn't go off like it would going to.
His friends didn't argue the point.
Why would they argue the point?
They know him.
Again, why would they argue the point?
And then it was like, are you going to go check on her? Why would I check up on her?
Exactly. Why?
You gonna call me all kinds of things outside of child of God in front of my kids, and then you want me to walk about after you?
Kiss my behind. What?
Especially if we mutually agreed after behind closed doors that we were gonna say no.
And then you stole your butt. And then you stole your butt on stage. What? He could check on you.
But then he want to give a veiled threat. You know, she talk about my past. You know, there's your past that won't look too well.
Well, now we know.
Sour grapes.
And it happens a lot.
Well, now we
happens a lot.
Well, now we know about the skeletons in the closet because, like we said, she was dating and she had a sneaky link on the side that she been with. So again,
Issa, man to man, I'm gonna ask you a question.
All right.
How many situations have you been in where a girl has pretty much gone off of you on public, but you have yet to go off on her skeletons in her closet? You just kept it to yourself.
I just kept it to myself because when us guys, when we take an L, we just got to sit on it. We just got to eat.
Yeah, we're supposed to sit on top of just keep accepting to keep it. Nah. Me and Mr. Easton is happening. She talk right now.
Why is women going off in public on you? What have you done?
Elsie, no, that's just what some women do.
It could be. It could be somebody. It could be okay. This is a better situation. This is a better situation. Somebody drank a little too much. Somebody drank a little too much, and they get a little.
Drunk tongue speaks sober thoughts. What have you been doing that she had to get wasted
to
tell you about yourself?
No. See, why do you assume that you have to have done something? Some people are just sorry and vindictive. That's just who they are, and their real selves show up.
But again, it has to be a grievance. There has to be something that happened that I've got to be vindictive again.
Elsie, how many perceived grievances happen in people's minds? How many perceived grievances happens in people's minds?
Is it perceived? Because if she could tell you what it is, it ain't perceived.
No. If she could tell me what it is, and then I come around with the facts, and okay, this is what actually happened. Now, what you got to say? See, you know what? I'm gonna talk some big ish right now. Just a second, okay? I'm gonna talk some big ish right now. There's a reason you ain't gonna find. Actually, you probably ain't gonna find no one come up and talk trash about me like that, because I conduct myself in a certain manner.
Great experience.
And also, don't try to roll up on me. Whatever you try, if you're gonna come at me, it better be factual, because I have the facts to back it up. Okay.
Sounding like The Wire. When you come at the king, you best not miss.
you might as well not even take the shot. I'm telling you right now. Okay. I know how to conduct myself. I give you to your point. You're right. But most times there is a grievance that happens. Yet, I'm telling you, unfortunately, I have been in situations where this speaks back towards Amber. They are so used to being aggrieved by everyone in their past that they come across someone who actually hasn't aggrieved them, and then they become the aggriever themselves.
This is true.
They
I
can't
see
help
that Uno reverse. And Easton, what have you done that you have
it.
been
Uno reverse.
cornered in public?
I've had, for me, I like to consider myself like if this was an experience, if this was TripAdvisor, I have great customer reviews, 5 stars. I leave you better off than you came to me. Honestly,
Yes.
that being said, I've been in situations where a young lady I've been with dating, she got drunk, assumed a couple of things, and then I'm like trying to calm down the situation, but you already drunk. You already in your emotions. You triggered. I can't do nothing with it. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to de-escalate. So when something like this happens, that's why if you do see a guy kind of go off or he like air out the business and stuff like that, what's the common things that people will say? Why are you acting like a girl? Why you? That's what they gonna say. They go, why are you acting like a lady? Why you in women's business? Why you? That's what kind of happens. So you just gotta sit with the L and maybe chat about it with your boys, but that don't ever come up. If I aired out all my grievances with all the people that have wronged me, I'd be here all day. I'm not a
Yeah.
perfect person. I've had to improve. I had to go to therapy. I had to work on myself. But as a guy, I just sit on the L. I don't necessarily or pause, but I just sit on whatever loss that I have and I don't really bring it up. And I think that's the same thing with Alex. You really can't be like, well, I'm gonna tell the world about your business because you always gonna come out looking worse.
You
It
know
is
what
what it
else?
is.
Let me be honest for a second. You know what? You know what my biggest flaw was when I was younger, and this is part of the reason I actually learned this through therapy. Whatnot, therapists had to point this out to me. I had the notion of accepting blame when I didn't have to. I took too much abuse onto me on things that actually wasn't my fault. But
Oh, you were
because
an ice cream sundae with too many toppings.
because I felt like I was the man of the situation, I was always the first to blame. I felt like no, it starts with me, so I took on the burden of responsibility. Even though when going into it, the therapist like, that's not your fault. You shouldn't have took on that. That was on them. You can't take on that burden. It does nothing but weigh you down. And it was something that she said I took too much abuse at times. I kept my mouth shut too much. That I should have spoke up more, which I did change over time. So I do speak more now. Like,
We
no, is
know.
something going wrong? Yeah, nah, you don't know actually. I'm actually very muted now. You don't want me to go off, okay?
We didn't say
Because I
off. We
start,
just said speak up.
even when I speak up, you want me to start telling truths. Because I keep it factual. Even if it makes me look a certain type of way, you're going to get the facts. Because
Oh,
this is what
we
happened.
know. We've heard you before.
That's what happened. But what you're not going to do is curse me out, call me up in name of things that's not true about. You gonna never catch nobody question my integrity. What? Now we can't say that about Alex because we said from the very beginning, you should question his integrity. We said this. I was like, yo, this boy's an F boy. He shouldn't be here. Why are you talking to him? He's a nomad. He's all over the place. Get him out of here.
You can buy some integrity in a Happy Meal with chicken nuggets and some fries.
Well, I guess that was enough for. You know what? Let me ask this question. If Alice were to acquiesce, which I don't believe this to be so, but if Alice were to acquiesce or to Ashley in the beginning when it was getting into it about stuff, do you think this would have been a yes at decision day? For both of them?
He was always a no.
I'm asking for her.
If he did not, she would have been a yes. If he wasn't arguing about the water bottles and the other little nitpicking things, nitpicking about her job, nitpicking about she maybe trying to trap him, maybe if he was smooth sailing and just was like, let's get along to get along, maybe. But because he was nitpicking and she was not seen as Miss Perfect to him, that's when we see it as a problem.
But what would that tell you about her? Because honestly, it's the same thing you should know about her now.
Well, that she can be as delusional as Britney.
And that's the person I saw. Well, only to a certain extent. You're right, can be. But that's the woman I saw throughout this process. A little bit Delulu, but when she woke up on her Delulu, when she was trying to find some type of lie for a reason to jump out of that relationship.
She didn't
She was
have
trying
far
to
to
jump
look.
out. I don't think that she was
No,
trying to jump out the relationship.
she was trying to jump
Honest,
out, bro.
nah, I think her thing was she's trying to justify why he's withholding sex and intimacy. Her reasoning, I think that was when things started to get rocky. It wasn't
But that's a
Alex's
part of it.
far-fetched. It wasn't Alex's far-fetched stories. It wasn't that he seemed inconsistent. It was that he is not having sex and he's not touching me and he's not engaging. And then that is what is going to be the precursor to me trying to figure out what's going on. Because even with her badgering him about all of the exes or his ex, she's like, well, are you still talking to her? Are you still engaged or involved or what's going on? And he's like, no, no, no. She's trying to justify, like, why is he not carrying this out with me, because she leads with that.
But that's my
It's
point.
not only
Issa.
that, it's also he kept saying, he kept saying, you're not my preference.
But that's my point, Easton. Throughout this whole situation, she was trying to. It got to a point where she was actively trying to justify a reason to get out of this situation for him. Because before then, it was what you were saying. She actually did want him. For what reason, I do not know why. Maybe it
Well,
was
she always
just the
liked
lash.
athletes. She always liked athletes.
And I'm
Maybe
not
it
gonna
was
be
just the
the
lash.
and I'm not gonna be the police about this, but even that's kind of the fact that she was over here cheating or something like that, and she over here crying about Alex not
Ain't
putting
no
it
real
down,
either.
and then she cheating on the side. This is all kinds of messed up and murky. The
Pot
fact
calling
that,
kettle. It's the
yeah,
pot calling kettle black.
the issue is that everybody is so hell-bent, and maybe Alex might be somebody who triggered a chat person or it might be a representative of somebody in some of the fandom's life who's inconsistent, who's unstable, who speaks in riddles. Don't use that to blind you to the entire situation. Ashley is culpable in her demise, and we're trying to infantilize her in the fact that, oh, Alex is just lying and telling her all these stories. This woman knew all this stuff from the beginning. And not only that, she was cheating the whole time.
Yeah. Hey, Elsa, can you pull up to Ghost Africa last comment? Because I think it's very interesting. You're right. And this is the differences in fathers. You could tell that Ashley's father was actively trying to teach her what's really going on in the world. No, have a better picker. Have this discernment. She learned the lessons. She just never employed them until later on in this process. But she learned the lessons. That was her. That's the biggest difference between her and Britney. She actually did learn the lessons from her father. She just never employed them. I don't think Britney's father actually taught her those lessons. That's the biggest difference.
That's why on my IG I have her father's look, because he looking down because he know it's coming. And I play Beyonce's Daddy's Little Girl. Daddy made a soldier out of me. She was just implementing all the lessons Daddy done taught her at that altar. Little late, whatever. I can see her being on the perfect match. I can see, him trying to be on a perfect match if he, wants to travel and have somebody else pay for it.
Nomad.
No,
job.
No, I don't think he's going to be on perfect match.
I doubt he'll do any more social media type of shows.
Yeah.
I doubt that. But I'm just saying, he going to be popping up somewhere. Y'all realize he said he been traveling. He got that New Zealand passport. We don't know where he going to be next. So ladies, be on the lookout. Okay? Nomadic lifestyle.
I'm almost guarantee you.
He going to have a girl.
The next time he pops up, he's going to somewhat achieve everything that he said he wanted just to show people up.
Yeah, just like he keeps saying he's been a soccer star and it's been 2-month contract and he ain't played but a game.
Yeah, he got hurt. He got injured.
He said he got injured. He didn't.
He got injured.
I want people to tell me where the lie was. He didn't say I was playing in MLS for 14 years. He said he got injured. He had 4 knee surgeries. That is all corroborated by his history, and he was drafted. He was drafted in the first round. That
killed his career.
Yes, but he also is trashing soccer stars, saying they're not that good.
Everybody knows David Beckham isn't that great.
He's not.
Ronaldinho was way better, but he didn't look. He wasn't as attractive as a person as David
That is
Beckham,
true.
and that's a common thing. But people who don't know soccer is gonna make it look like it's a slight, but it's the truth.
Yeah, that is true. David Beckham. Yeah,
He
people know
wasn't. He was just married to the Spice
he's
Girl.
not that. Yeah, he's not that great of a
It doesn't matter
soccer
what you
star.
are. He is Sir. He is bending it like
Oh my
again.
God.
These
It
are moot.
don't
These are moot points.
matter. We know that
We
there
ain't
are
gonna talk
people
about
that
these
are
sex service.
subpar talented that are, put on the big poster board. But
Yeah,
the thing
because
is,
of where he listen,
you've
who he
had,
married to.
yeah, but he's had 2 months on a freaking contract. You have nothing to say about someone who
No,
has
no,
made it.
we're not gonna do that because we did that with Javier and Love Is Blind UK. That
London,
man made it to
Javin.
Javin.
Japan.
Javin, bro, it's an accomplishment to make it to get drafted to. You won out of. They don't even have that many rounds in the MLS draft.
I
You got
never
drafted.
I never dogged out Javin for his, and
No,
he
no, no.
has.
I know,
He
but
was
people.
there.
But I think because we're black, we can appreciate it, and also we can like talk about how like, hey, this is a really big.
It is not equating because Javin spent years at that league level.
No, he never made it to play on the pre. He got injured. He was the same way, and then he
was
came.
He
not
got
on
injured
a
as well.
he was
He
not
did.
on a Premier League. I understand that. And yes, he was injured, but he was not talking about this. And he only spent 2 months. He was at, like, let's say D1 level for years. I understand the difference between Javin and Alex.
It's comparable. The dude got drafted.
Not for me. Not for me.
Oh, the fact that you got drafted to any professional sports team, I think is an accomplishment in itself. And
For me, Javin has had a longer soccer career than Alex. You got to prove it to me that he didn't.
Alex played 4 years at Wake Forest and then got drafted. What are we talking about?
2 months.
Javin didn't play for the premier team that he was under the league for. But okay,
again, to me, the Premier
They both
League
never
is
played.
Right.
They both never played. It's the point of all this.
But I have more. I guess I have more grace for Javin because I understand and know his soccer level, and
we got grace for Javin because he got engaged to a whole bird and we saw shoot the bird. So hey,
daggone it! I had grace for him before the bird situation. I'm talking about his soccer. Talking about his soccer, not his behavior.
No, because people was roasting Javin too in the very beginning. They was killing him. Yeah, just killing him until we found out what Big Bird was like. It was like, oh, okay. Then the tone shift.
You named her Big Bird.
Had to feel, and then we
yes, I did. She is Big Bird.
She was a bird, but
is there anything else y'all would like to say about Alex and Ashley?
No, I just want us to be a lot more objective in terms of. In regards to when we start critiquing people, I get it. This might be very triggering, but I hope that we can be more objective and not infantilize like people that we particularly like or might resonate with or might be the opposite of what's triggering us, because I think that they were both very problematic, very unserious people. I think that, again, rule number 2 in Easton's rules of reality shows, if they don't look like they need to be on the show, why are they on the show? You need to start asking questions. And Alex was an immediate red flag. We said that in the first episode. Ashley seemed like she was a really big pick-me, but she led with intimacy, and her issue with Alex all stemmed with the insecurity of her not being intimate with Alex. But that it is what it is. And again, nobody liked them. So I'm glad that this situation happened and Ashley didn't eat with her little speech. It is what it is.
Listen,
Trey, how would you like to wrap up Alex and Ashley?
Like I said so many times before, Alex is a romantic bum. that's gonna have a perception of an F-boy. But it's probably, like I said, it's probably going to prove his future correct. When he said that he wanted to achieve, I have a sneaking suspicion in a couple of years from now, 2 to 3 years, he's going to achieve everything that he said he's going to do. It's going to be crazy. And yeah, that speech didn't eat at all. I'm sorry, Ash. But
I appreciated it. I appreciated, if not the speech, I appreciated the you ain't gonna tell me. I'm gonna tell you. I'm production today. Okay. I appreciated that. I appreciated that if it's going to be some kind of because he was stunned. He was like,
yeah, because
the
what
look
they
on his
agreed
face. And her daddy looked at his mama like, buckle up, buttercup. You ready? And he looked down because he didn't need to look at it because he knew it was coming. I agree with y'all that I think she planned it. She knew what she was going to say. Ashley did try to fool us in the beginning before she said her vows, before she went downstairs, like, oh my God, I could see us, building a life together. And it was like, girl, I could see the fake in it. Okay. But yes, they are not together. They went their separate ways. They're out there in the wild. So everybody, beware and proceed with caution. Okay. But I don't mind.
Integrity.
Huh?
And she want to talk about somebody's integrity. Get some of your own.
Again, she is out there, as y'all say, it's out in the social media that allegedly she had a sneaky link the entire time. So sometimes when people bring up words, SAT words like integrity, maybe they're talking about themselves. Okay? Maybe they're talking about themselves. The Next Swindler, I like that. Maybe The Next Swindler coming to Netflix near you. But I appreciate you, gentlemen. We tussle in a respectful manner, and I do appreciate it. I appreciate it. We have civil discourse around here. Okay?
Likewise.
I appreciate it. We will be back. If y'all want to be next week to cover the reunion shenanigans, I am watching it live, y'all. So y'all will see a link to watch it simultaneously. The chat will be open for y'all to be like, what? Huh? What? So we're going to start at like probably 5 minutes. I'm going to start early, but we'll start clicking on it 5 minutes after 9. Because you know how Netflix do when they drop stuff, it sometimes have a lag. And we can watch it together. I'm watching Blue Therapy right now, y'all.
It's a mess.
And I'm putting out shorts. It is a mess. But there are some detailed couple conversations that need to be had. And I am absolutely loving it. I'm up to episode 7 right now. So my shorts are coming out and they have the episode number on the shorts. So you could go quick reference. That will be, I believe, Tuesday. And Blue Therapy is worth the watch. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit. Okay. There's one guy that feels like the girl had a baby to trap him. There's another guy that is spending money. He ain't got no job anymore. Okay, I'm getting hot. I'm getting loud because it irks my nerves. He was fired from his job, made redundant. That's the UK term. And y'all, he went for 2 months dressing and leaving the house like he was going to work as regular and spinning the block to come back home after she leaves for work. Not only that, when it's now a time that we have figured out what he's doing, she is still the one coming home, taking care of the kid. She got to come home from work, cook and everything. And he said he needs his entire mental capacity to look for a job. What the frick you been doing for the last 2 months, sir?
I was depressed. But it's worth the watch. It's worth the watch, but you don't get triggered. I hope that the chat, when y'all watch these shows, please don't get too triggered, because Blue Therapy will for sure trigger you, because you might know somebody who knows somebody who's on this show or acts like somebody on the show, and it will distort your entire view of the show and your viewing.
Right, he's spending money like he working. And when she was like, hey, let's tackle these debts, she didn't run. She a better woman than me. I have to say, she a better woman than me. She did not run. Then there's another one, okay, that she's a constant cheater. All of a sudden, I need you to treat to have mercy, and I'm not going to cheat no more. All of a sudden, really? Is it scripted, Safs? I think part of it is scripted. This is just my belief. I have no word, because remember the first one, which is on YouTube, part of it was scripted. I think some of it is scripted, but I think that much of it is probably, a serious topic they have had to deal with. Yeah. Then one man, y'all, the man would appreciate this. This husband and wife, they want to continue having babies and having kids. They want to have their 4th kid. Guess what?
They broke.
He decide he gonna get a snip and not tell her. And also he was supposed to freeze his little soldiers, and he decided not to do it, and he tells her on the couch. Oh, by the way,
sounds like somebody
like
needs to have a conversation about the agency over their own body. Are we policing somebody's body now? Hey, look, I'm not the body police. I'm not the body police.
Sounds like a Tyler Perry skip to me.
Right.
He said, my body, my choice.
I hope we have as much support for him as we will with anybody else who might
be. They won't, and they shouldn't, because they're married, right? These people are married.
They are married. They have 3 children together. They've been married for years.
You can't do that, bro. That's crazy. Can't do that without letting her
Blue
know.
Therapy, I'm going to cover it on Tuesday. I'm going to be live. I'm going to talk about it at probably 7 o'clock. Trey and I also doing our whole, sci-fi thing, Dune. We're going to be talking about Dune before I talk about Blue Therapy, just so I'm not this heated by the time we talk Blue Therapy, okay? So I'm probably going to do Dune about 5, as I usually do, and I'm going to do Blue Therapy at 7 or 7:30. Give myself a little bit of a break on Tuesday, because Wednesday we're watching the live Love is Blind reunion. Thursday, we ain't got nothing planned Thursday, except, members, we ain't watching nothing together. But Messy Member Monday is Monday, and we are heading to Cougar Town. Oh, Blue Therapy is on Netflix. Blue Therapy is on Netflix right now. It's 8 episodes, 30 minutes each. It's bite-sized. And there's about 6 or 7 couples. So it's pretty cool. Okay. But Friday we'll have our unscripted, where we talk about a year in music and whatever, and we do trivia. Members, I also have the adult riddles and the adult games y'all wanted, and we're heading to Cougarville. I have videos and such. Okay, members. Messy Member Monday will be in full effect tomorrow night at 8:30 or 8 o'clock EST. But again, thank you, gentlemen, so much. Thank you all. Please make sure you hit that like one good time before you leave. And Love is Blind Sweden starts on Thursday. We are busy. Okay, so please make sure your notifications are on, so you know when I go live and when I have scheduled a live. And like I always say, I'll see you on the next one.